Welcome, students. Today we will see NCERT Chapter 8, which is amines, and today is a theory part 3. So, today we are going to cover section 9.5. This is the disclaimer. Now, let us see the objective of today's lecture. After attending this lecture, you will be able to understand the topics which we are going to cover today. So today we are going to discuss the properties of amines, okay? Now for your reference, I have mapped the NCERT sections which we are going to cover today. So today we will be covering 9.5, which is physical properties, boiling point and solubility. And we will solve exercise question 9.3, 9.4 and 9.14. Okay, so let's start with today's lecture. So today we will first see the physical properties and order of amines, okay? So first we will discuss about lower aliphatic amines. So these are the amines with small straight chain carbon groups, and they are gases and have a strong fishy odor. So this smell is quite distinctive and it is often used to identify the presence of these compounds in the lab. Next, as we move towards the primary amines with 3 or more carbon atoms, their physical state changes from gas to liquids, okay? And this happens because larger molecules have stronger intermolecular forces. So they need more energy to escape into gas phase. So I can say, as the carbon chain gets longer, these amines, they become liquid at room temperature. Now when the number of carbon atom increases even more, we get higher amines, which are solids. So the increased molecular size means even stronger forces holding the molecules together, so they stay solid at room temperature. So this trend, gas to liquid to solid, as molecule get bigger, this is quite common in many organic compounds. Now if we talk about aniline and other aryl amines, then these compounds, they are usually colorless when pure, but over time they can become colored due to atmospheric oxidation. So this means that oxygen from the air, it reacts with the amine, causing chemical changes that produce colored compounds. Okay, so you can think it as a good example of how exposure to air, it can affect the properties of substance. Now let's see the physical state of amines. So physical state of amines, it depends entirely on the intermolecular interactions. Okay, so intermolecular interactions, they are the forces that act between molecules. Okay, so these forces are the ones that decide if a substance will be a solid, liquid, or it will be a gas under certain conditions. Now amines actually have 2 types of intermolecular interactions. Okay, so one by one we will see each of them. First one is van der Waals forces. So what are these kind of forces? So these are weak attractions that exist between all molecules, which is caused by temporary shift in the electron clouds. Even though the van der Waals forces are weak, they can still influence whether a substance is a gas or a liquid, okay, especially in smaller molecules. Next, second type which we will discuss is hydrogen bonding. So this is a much stronger interaction that happens when a hydrogen is bonded to highly electronegative atoms. And what are those atoms? It can be nitrogen, oxygen, or it can be fluorine. Okay? So in amines, hydrogen bonding can make them more likely to be liquids or solids at room temperature. Okay? So to sum up, I can say both van der Waals forces and hydrogen bonding together determine the physical state of amines. Now we will discuss about van der Waals forces. Now look at this table. You have to see that the lower aliphatic amines, these are the lower aliphatic amines which have small carbon chains. Okay? They are gases. Their physical state is gas because their van der Waals force are weak. Now, as the carbon chain gets longer, like if we take a case of primary amine with more than 3 carbons, then the van der Waals forces become stronger. Okay? So van der Waals forces due to longer chains. The van der Waals forces become stronger and they exist as liquids. If we talk about higher amines, which have even more longer chains, then the forces are strongest. So they exist as solids. Okay? So this shows us that how the molecular size and the structure influence the physical state through the intermolecular forces. Okay? So you need to know that lower aliphatic amines, they are gases. Primary amines, they are liquids. And higher amines, they are solids. Okay? Now we will see about hydrogen bonding. So if you look at this diagram, okay, this is intermolecular hydrogen bonding in amines. Okay, so you can see the hydrogen atom from one molecule. If this is a primary amine RNH2, then hydrogen from this molecule, it is attracted to nitrogen of another. Okay, so this extra bonding makes the molecules stick together even more tightly. Okay, and as a result, they can raise the boiling points and also affect the solubility. Okay, so you can see this hydrogen bonding in which we have different molecules of amine and hydrogen of one amine is bonded to nitrogen of another amine. Okay, similarly, it is shown over here. Now we will discuss about the boiling point of amines. Okay, so boiling point, I can say it is the temperature at which a substance changes from liquid to gas. Okay, and if we specifically talk about amines, then this is influenced by the type of bonding between the molecules. So if we see, amines form intermolecular hydrogen bonds. Okay, I hope you remember intermolecular means between the molecules. Okay, and hydrogen bonding, you can say it is a special attraction that involves hydrogen atoms. Okay, so the number of hydrogen atoms that is attached to the nitrogen atoms in an amine determine how strong these bonds can be. So if we talk about primary amine, then we know in primary amine we have 2 hydrogen atoms which is attached to nitrogen. So this allows them to form more hydrogen bonds with neighboring molecules. And as a result, what happens? It increases their boiling points. Okay? So I can say more hydrogen bonding means stronger attraction between molecules. Next, if I say about secondary amine, then in secondary amine, we only have one hydrogen atom. Okay? So we have one hydrogen atom which is attached to the nitrogen. So with fewer hydrogens, they form fewer hydrogen bonds. So their boiling points, they are generally lower than the primary amines. Next, if I talk about tertiary amines, In tertiary amines, we have no hydrogen. All are three alkyl groups, they are bonded to the nitrogen. Okay? So they have no hydrogen atoms attached to the nitrogen. So this means they cannot form hydrogen bonds between their molecules at all because there is no hydrogen. So if I talk about their boiling point, then their boiling point, it is lowest among all the three types. Okay, so remember, primary amines have two hydrogen atoms, secondary has one, and tertiary has none. Okay, so if you look at the structure, we have here primary amines, which is two hydrogens are there. So you can see hydrogen of one amine is bonded to nitrogen of another amine. Okay, so it forms intermolecular hydrogen bonding, which is based on the number of hydrogen atoms. Okay, here there are two hydrogen atoms if we talk about primary amines. So if I summarize the boiling order of amines, then I can say primary is greater than secondary and which is greater than the tertiary. Okay, so I can say primary 1, they have the highest boiling point, which is followed by secondary and then tertiary. Okay, so this is because of the difference in the hydrogen bonding between the molecules. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now we will see boiling point difference in amines, alcohols and alkanes. Okay, so if I say about amines, so amines, they have higher boiling points than alkanes. This is because alkanes do not have hydrogen bonding between their molecule. So that is why their intermolecular forces are much weaker. Okay. Next, if I compare amines to alcohols, then actually alcohols, they have higher boiling points than amines. Can you guess the reason? So if you see over here, this shows that the forces that are holding the alcohol molecules together, they are stronger than those which is present in amines. Okay, let us see one by one the reason. One of the key reason is that difference in electronegativity between oxygen and nitrogen. So we know that oxygen is found in alcohols, which is more electronegative than nitrogen, which is found in amines. So if oxygen is more electronegative, so it means that oxygen pulls electrons more strongly, which makes the hydrogen bonds in alcohols stronger than those in amines. Now, because of the higher electronegativity, alcohol forms stronger hydrogen bonds as compared to amines. Okay, so stronger hydrogen bonding means it takes up more energy or a higher temperature to separate the molecules and boil the liquids. That is why we can say that alcohols, they have higher boiling point. So I hope the reason is clear now. Now we will talk about solubility of amines in water. So how can you define solubility? It is how well a substance can dissolve in water, and it is influenced by the types of bonds the molecules can form with water. Okay, so if we'll compare butane 1-ol, which is an alcohol, and if I compare butane 1-amine, which is an amine, okay, so we will see how their structures affect the solubility. So if you see butane 1-ol and butane 1-amine, we know that it can form hydrogen bonds with water molecules. Okay. Now the reason these molecules can form hydrogen bond is because they both have an electronegative atom. Oxygen, which is present in alcohol, and nitrogen, which is present in amines, okay, which is bonded directly to hydrogen. So I can say higher the electronegativity will be, the stronger the pull will be on electrons, which will make the hydrogen slightly positive and able to bond with the water. So now if we'll talk about electronegativity differences, which is abbreviated as EN. So it tells us how much an atom wants to attract electrons. Okay. The bigger the difference in electronegativity between two atoms, more polar will be the bond, which affects how well the molecule can interact with water. So if you see over here it is given electronegativity of carbon, which is 2.55. So now we know this thing that carbon is less electronegative than oxygen and nitrogen. So when it is bonded to those atoms, the electrons are pulled more towards oxygen or nitrogen. Okay, so this difference create polar bonds which are important for the solubility. Next, if I talk about electronegativity of oxygen, it is 3.5, which is quite high. This means that in an OH bond, like if I talk about butane 1-ol, so oxygen pulls electrons strongly towards itself, making the bond very polar. So this strong polarity helps butane 1-ol form stronger hydrogen bonds with water. Next, if I talk about electronegativity of nitrogen, then it is 3, okay, which is less than oxygen, but it is still higher than the carbon. So in an NH bond, like if I talk about butane 1-amine, so nitrogen also pulls electron towards itself, but not as strongly as oxygen does in an OH bond. Okay, so this means that NH bond is polar, but not as much as the OH bond. I hope the concepts are getting clear. Now, if we talk about polarity of these bonds, then polarity of a bond, it depends on the difference in the electronegativity between two atoms. Okay, the more polar the bond, the stronger the hydrogen bonding with water, and higher will be its solubility. So if you see over here, the OH bond in butane 1-ol, it is more polar than the NH bond in butane 1-amine, because the electronegativity difference between oxygen and hydrogen, it is greater than between the nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay, so this means butane 1-ol can form stronger hydrogen bonds with water compared to butane 1-amine. Why? Because of the electronegativity difference between oxygen and hydrogen, which is greater than between nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay, so because of this, butane 1-amines, it forms weaker hydrogen bonds with water molecules. So weaker hydrogen bond means that butane 1-amine doesn't dissolve as well in water as butane 1-ol does. Okay, so you can see butane 1-amine forms weaker hydrogen bonds with water molecules. Okay, so this difference in hydrogen bonding, you can say this is a key reason for their different solubilities. So next we can conclude that butane 1-ol, it is more soluble than butane 1-amine. This is mainly because the OH bond in butane 1-ol, it is more polar, allowing it to form stronger hydrogen bonds with water. Okay, so one key point that you need to remember, stronger hydrogen bonding usually means better solubility in water. Okay, so we were discussing the solubility in amines. So if you notice this trend, then you will see primary amines, they are more soluble in water than secondary amines. And secondary amines, they are more soluble than the tertiary. So you can see this order. Okay, now let us think about why this happens. Okay, or what could make these primary amines dissolve better. Can you guess the reason? Okay, we have already discussed it. I have told you that primary amines, they have 2 NH bonds which is available for hydrogen bonding with water. But if I talk about secondary amine, Secondary amines only have one NH bond. So that is why they can form fewer hydrogen bonds with water. And if I go to tertiary amines, then tertiary amines have no NH bonds at all. So they can't form hydrogen bonds with water. Okay, so this is why what explains their solubility decreases as we go from primary to secondary to tertiary. Okay. Now, if you look at this diagram, here you have primary amine. Primary amine, two nitrogen, one alkyl or aryl group, and two hydrogens are bonded. So you can see primary amine can form two hydrogen bonds with this water molecule because we have two hydrogens available. Whereas if I go towards secondary amine, in secondary amine, I have one hydrogen and two alkyl or aryl groups. So here you can see secondary amine can only form one hydrogen bond with water molecule because they have only one hydrogen. Now if we go to tertiary amines, look at tertiary amines, there is no hydrogen available. We have three alkyl or aryl groups. Since there is no hydrogen available, so it cannot form any bond with water molecule. Okay, so that is why the order is first is primary, then is secondary, and then is tertiary. Now moving on. Now notice one thing, that the lower aliphatic amines, they are soluble in water. Okay, this is because they can form hydrogen bonds with water molecules. Okay, increase the molar mass of the amine, its solubility in water decreases. Why this happens? Because larger molecules, they have bigger hydrophobic. Hydrophobic, in other words, I can say water repelling. So they have larger molecules. This happens because larger molecules, they have bigger hydrophobic parts. So bigger the amine, the less it likes to mix with the water. Now, if we focus on aromatic amines, okay, so aromatic amines behave differently from aliphatic amines when we talk in terms of solubility. So, aromatic ones, they are either insoluble or they are only sparingly soluble. This means they do not dissolve well. Can you think of the reason? The reason is quite simple. It is because their structure does not allow for strong hydrogen bonding with water, unlike the smaller aliphatic amines. Okay, so one of the key reasons for this low solubility is the presence of bulky hydrophobic benzene ring. Hydrophobic is water fearing, so they have a bulky hydrophobic benzene ring. Okay, so this large ring makes it harder for the molecules to interact with water molecules. So, aromatic amines, I can say they are soluble in less polar organic solvents. Okay, less polar organic solvents like alcohol, ether, and benzene. So, these solvents, they can better accommodate the hydrophobic benzene ring. Okay, so if I sum up all these things, I can say that the structure of amine, especially the presence of a benzene ring, it greatly affects the solubility in water and other solvents. Okay, now let's solve exercise question 9.3. You have to account for the following. Ethyl amine is soluble in water, whereas aniline is not. Okay, we discussed this. Can you guess the answer? So if I talk about ethyl amine, okay, they can form intermolecular hydrogen bonds with water molecules. Okay, so hydrogen bond, if I say, it is a type of attraction between molecules, especially when hydrogen is attached to electronegative atoms like nitrogen or oxygen. So because of these hydrogen bonds, ethyl amine is able to dissolve in water easily. So the water molecules surround the ethyl amine molecules, allowing them to mix thoroughly. Okay, so this is why we see, or why we can say that ethylamine is soluble in water. So if you can see over here, we have ethylamine, okay, which is C2H5NH2. You can see that this nitrogen of ethylamine is forming hydrogen bonding with this hydrogen of water molecule. Okay, so if you'll see, this nitrogen is more electronegative than this hydrogen. So it can pull the electron density towards itself. So it gets a partial negative charge and this hydrogen gets a partial positive charge. Okay, similarly, you can see over here, this oxygen of the water molecule is hydrogen bonded with the hydrogen of this ethylamine. Okay, so here also oxygen being more electronegative gets a partial negative charge and this hydrogen gets a partial positive charge. And again, the nitrogen of this ethylamine is hydrogen bonded with this hydrogen of water. Okay, so this is the intermolecular hydrogen bonding between water and ethylamine molecules. Okay, now if I talk about aniline, then aniline does not form hydrogen bonds with water to a larger extent. This means I can say that attraction between aniline and water is much weaker. So aniline doesn't dissolve well in water. Okay, the main reason is because of the large hydrophobic C6H5 group, which is also known as the phenyl group in aniline. Okay, so that group is a water fearing group. Okay, so this big group repels water and prevents strong interactions, which makes aniline much less soluble. Okay, now we will discuss next question, which is 9.4. You have to arrange the following in increasing order of boiling point. We have C2H5OH, CH3 whole twice NH, and we have C2H5NH2. So here you can see we have an alcohol. Okay, here we have a secondary amine because nitrogen is bonded with one hydrogen and two alkyl groups. And here we have primary amines because nitrogen is bonded to two hydrogen and one alkyl group. Okay, now let's see the solution part. We will arrange in the order of boiling point. Now first let's focus on hydrogen bonding. So the more extensive the hydrogen bonding in a compound, the higher will be its boiling point. Okay, so if I talk about, first let's compare amines. We have dimethylamine, which is CH3 whole twice NH, which contains only one hydrogen atoms. Okay, and on the other side, we have ethylamine, which is C2H5NH2. Here we have two hydrogen atoms, which is attached to nitrogen. Okay, so this has only one hydrogen atom. This has two hydrogen atoms. So the difference affects how many hydrogen bonds each molecule can form. So if you see C2H5NH2, now if you see ethylamine, it has two hydrogen bonds on nitrogen. So that is why I can say this ethylamine, it can form more hydrogen bonds if we compare it to dimethylamine, where we have only one hydrogen. Okay, so this ethylamine will have more extensive hydrogen bonding, which will lead to a higher boiling point. Okay, if the bonding will be strong, you have to provide more energy. Okay, so it will lead to a higher boiling point compared to dimethylamine. So if we compare between these two, we will see C2H5NH2 will have a higher boiling point as compared to this one. Okay. Now if we further compare it with C2H5OH, then we know that oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen. Okay, so this means oxygen will pull the electrons more strongly towards itself in a bond, which affects how strongly molecules can attract each other through hydrogen bonding. So if we talk about C2H5OH, it forms stronger hydrogen bonds if we talk about C2H5NH2. Okay, this is if they are stronger hydrogen bonding, then the molecules will stick together more tightly. Okay, so it takes more energy, means we need a higher temperature to separate them. So we can say that the boiling point of ethanol, which is C2H5OH, is higher than both ethylamine, which is the C2H5NH2, and dimethylamine, which is CS3 whole twice NH. Okay, the prime reason is because strong hydrogen bonding in ethanol, it requires more heat to break. So if we talk about increasing order of their boiling point, then we will see that ethanol has the highest, because here we have oxygen, which is more electronegative. Then comes C2H5NH2, and last we have CS3 whole twice NH. Okay, so in this there are more hydrogen, so this will give more hydrogen bonding. And here there is only one hydrogen, so it will give less hydrogen bonding. So this is the final order. Next, you have to arrange the following in increasing order of solubility in water: C6H5NH2, C2H5 whole twice NH, and C2H5NH2. Now we are asked to arrange this aniline, which is C6H5NH2, diethylamine, okay, which is C2H5 whole twice NH, and we have ethylamine, which is C2H5NH2. So, if we focus on hydrogen bonding, I can say more a molecule can form hydrogen bonds with water, the more soluble it tends to be. Okay, so the extent of hydrogen bonding is a key factor in determining the solubility. So if we compare these structures, I have one side ethylamine. Okay, so if we talk about ethylamine, which is C2H5NH2, it has two hydrogen atoms attached to nitrogen. While if I talk about diethylamine, which is C2H5 whole twice NH, this has only one hydrogen on the nitrogen. Okay, so the difference affects how many hydrogen bonds each can form with water molecules. So if we can see over here that ethylamine has more hydrogen bonds available for bonding, so it can form more hydrogen bonds with water as compared to diethylamine. That means ethylamine will generally be more soluble in water as compared to this diethylamine. So if we see the solubility order, if we compare these two, so I can say diethylamine one, this diethylamine, this is less soluble if we compare it to ethylamine, because it has two hydrogens available for bonding. Okay. Now we are going to compare it with an aniline, okay, which is an aryl amine. So if I talk about solubility of amines, then it decreases with increase in molar mass. So as the molecular mass increases, the solubility in water generally decreases. Why this happens? Because larger molecules have more non-polar hydrophobic part that don't interact well with water molecules. Okay, so you can see the same reason that molecular mass increases, the size of hydrophobic or water repelling part of molecule increases. So bigger will be the non-polar part, and less likely the molecules will dissolve in water. So if we compare all of these three, then we will see that C6H5 NH2 is less soluble if we compare it to both of them. Okay, so aniline has the lowest solubility, then diethylamine is in the middle, and last we have ethylamine, which is most soluble in water. Okay, so the increasing order of the solubility in water is as follows. So this is the order which we have discussed. Okay, so this is the increasing order of solubility. What you need to remember is hydrophobic part of the molecule gets larger, So that is why the solubility in water decreases. Now we have one more question, which is 9.14. You have to give possible explanation for each of the following. First one, why are amines less acidic than alcohols of comparable molecular masses? Second, why do primary amines have higher boiling points than tertiary amines? And third one, why are aliphatic amines stronger bases than aromatic amines? Okay. First, we will talk about the first part. We will see why amines they are less acidic than alcohols. So what happens when an amine loses a proton? Okay, it forms what we call it as amide ion. Remember students, acidity is all about how easily a molecule can lose a proton. Okay. So you'll see over here that if we have a primary amine, okay, when it loses a hydrogen ion, it becomes an amide ion, which is RNH minus. Okay. So R over here can either be an alkyl or aryl group. And you can see we have an amide ion. Now when alcohol loses a proton, it forms an alkoxide ion. Okay. Now if you see over here, this is an alcohol. When it loses a hydrogen ion, it becomes alkoxide, RO minus. Okay. Here you can see there is negative charge on oxygen atom. So the key difference is whether the negative charge is on nitrogen in amines or alcohols or oxygen in alcohols. So we know that oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen. So that is why negative charge, it is more stable on the oxygen. Okay. So negative charge is more stable on oxygen than on nitrogen. That is why this means that alkoxide ion formed from the alcohol is more stable than the amide ion which is formed from an amine. So the stability of the ion which is formed after losing a proton is a key factor in acidity. So to sum up, I can say alkoxide ion is more stable. So alcohols are more acidic than amines. Okay. In other words, simply I can say alcohol loses a proton more easily than amines too. Okay. So this explains that why amines they are less acidic than alcohols of similar molecular masses. Okay. Now we will continue. We will see the second part, that why primary amines they have higher boiling points than tertiary amines. So in primary amines, nitrogen atom is bonded to 2 hydrogen atoms. Okay, this is important because the presence of these hydrogen allows for certain type of interactions between molecules. So you can see that primary amines, they can form extensive hydrogen bonding between molecules. Okay. So this extra bonding means that more energy will be needed to separate the molecules, which raises their boiling point. If I talk about tertiary amines, then tertiary amines, they have no hydrogen atoms which is attached to nitrogen. Because without these hydrogens, the tertiary amines cannot form intermolecular hydrogen bonds. So as a result, the forces which is holding the molecule together, they are weaker. So they boil at a lower temperature compared to the primary amines. Okay. So here you can see the hydrogen bonding in primary amine where we have 2 hydrogens which is available for the hydrogen bonding. Okay. Now continuing with the solution, we will talk about the third part. Why are aliphatic amines stronger bases than aromatic amines? Now if I talk about aromatic amines, I can take example of aniline. So the lone pair of electrons on nitrogen atom, it is involved in conjugation with the pi bonds of benzene ring. This means that the nitrogen electrons, they are shared with the ring, which is making them less available to accept a proton. Okay, and which is certainly reducing the basicity. This is the key concept here. Okay, so if I talk about resonating structures, then aniline, they have 5 resonating structures. So what resonance do? It spread out the electron density, which is further decreasing the availability of the nitrogen's lone pair for bonding with hydrogen ions. This is the key reason why the aromatic amines, they are weaker bases than aliphatic amines. So look at their resonating structures over here. Okay, so each structure tells you how the electrons are delocalized over the entire ring and the nitrogen atom. Okay, so if you'll see over here, this nitrogen gets a positive charge, and here you can see the resonating structures. Okay, so continuing with the solution, if we focus on the basicity of aromatic amines like aniline, so when aniline accepts a proton, it forms anilinium ion. Okay, however, this ion is less stabilized by resonance compared to a neutral aniline molecule. Okay, this means that the positive charge on nitrogen isn't spread out as much, making this ion less stable. So if we talk about anilinium ion, it has 2 main resonating structures. Okay, so here the limited number of structures means less stabilization for the ion. So remember, greater are the number of resonating structures, the more stable the ion or molecule becomes. Okay, stability increases with more ways to distribute the charge. So if there are fewer resonance forms, it means that anilinium ion is less stable, which affects its basicity. So you can see over here the resonance in the anilinium ion. When it accepts a proton, it forms NH3+. So you can see the positive charge is it is localized on nitrogen atom. Okay, with only limited delocalization into the ring. So this, we can say that if we talk about plus I effect or positive inductive effect, this effect increases the electron density on the nitrogen atoms in alkyl amines, which makes them better able to accept a proton. And in contrast, aniline doesn't benefit as much from this effect, okay, which is another reason why it is a weaker base. So we can sum up by saying that aniline is a weaker base than alkyl amines because its conjugate base, which is the anilinium ion, is less stabilized by resonance and doesn't get as much electron donating help from plus I effect. So this explains the fact that while aliphatic amines, they are stronger bases than aromatic amines. Okay, so I hope the question is clear now. Now let's summarize whatever we have studied in today's lecture. We saw that lower aliphatic amines, which have smaller carbons, they are gases at room temperature. When the carbon chain gets longer, specifically for primary amines with more than 3 carbons, they become liquids. And if the chain gets even longer, the amine turns into solid. So the change in state is similar to what we see with organic compounds as their molecular mass increase. Next, we will see the boiling point order. So the order is primary amine have the highest boiling point, which is followed by the secondary, and last we have tertiary. Okay, this is because primary amines can form the most hydrogen bonds, which requires more energy to break. Then we talked about the solubility of amines in water. It depends on their size. So the amines with lower molar mass dissolve more easily in water. As the size of amine increases, its solubility decreases because the larger hydrocarbon part doesn't interact well with water. Okay, then we compare amines to alcohols. So generally alcohols are more soluble in water than amines. This is because the OH bond in alcohols is more polar than the NH bond in amines, which leads to a stronger hydrogen bonds with water molecules. Okay, so alcohol mix better with water due to this stronger attraction. Finally, we talked about aromatic amines, which contains a benzene ring, which are less soluble in water. So the benzene ring is hydrophobic, means it repels water and doesn't form hydrogen bonds. So this make aromatic amines much less likely to dissolve in water compared to the aliphatic amines. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. So thank you students for your attention. I hope this lesson is helpful to you. Thank you.